Let's come back to home issues now. This week, proceedings at the ICC mark the final push by Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua journalist Joshua Arap Sang in their bid to have charges against them dropped. The duo are steering. Now, Nina explores what next for Ruto and Sang and what a lack of conviction of the two remaining suspects out of the initial 6 Kenyan could mean for the ICC.
On the 7th of April 2011, Deputy President William Ruto and his co-accused Joshua Arap Sang had their first date at the International Criminal Court following summonses to appear. And when they made their second trip to The Hague in early September 2011 for the 8-day confirmation of charges hearing, more trips would follow after the trial against the two began on the 10th of September 2013. And just like their supporters,
we really hope this is our last travel to the ICC. We not only hope, we believe.
Ruto and Sang are hoping that this will be their last trip to The Hague. The Deputy President has filed a no case to answer motion seeking to have the charges against him dropped, arguing that the prosecution failed to prove any charges against him. But the prosecution, which is this time round focusing on the quantity and not the quality of evidence, is convinced that it has enough evidence to secure a conviction. And this week's proceedings will be decisive. If Trial Chamber 5 rules that Ruto and Sang have no case to answer, they will be off the hook.
There are two things they can do. One, to seek revenge, one, to seek to sue, but that, I think, is a long call. Being politician, particularly for the DP, the faster he forgets this thing, the faster he forgives, the better for him, because it makes him free to run his own agenda and run his politics.
But if they lose their bid to have the case dropped, the two will be making more trips to The Hague.
They could also be asked to go on their defense. From where I'm sitting, I suspect they'll be asked to go on their defense and to produce their witnesses. That's the minimum you do to a prosecution side in order for you to ensure justice. You also need to listen to the other side, to the defense side.
There is no telling how long the case would go on, but with the Kenyan general election set for August next year, election campaigns may not be all that Ruto will be handling.
The Deputy President will be having two things to think about: how to be re-elected, or how to have their ticket re-elected, because he's going to run again with the president, and what would happen even in the event that he's re-elected, what would happen in terms of the case. So there will be two worries that he will be bothering about: one, the winning, and the other one, this hanging case around him. Does it affect him negatively? Perhaps not, because we've seen that if it was to affect him negatively, it should have affected him in the last election.
The ICC case was a campaign issue in the 2013 elections, but did not come in the way of Ruto's election agenda. And this time round, things may be no different.
The incumbent government has been in power for 5 years, or no, for 4 years plus, and they will be having their own issues to deal with. There are many issues that the opposition are raising right now that could still be issues around that time, failing to deliver on promises, issues of corruption. There might be other issues. But remember, again, this country does not always hang on issues when it comes to politics. It's what euphoria, what formation, what coalitions are happening, what groups of people are deciding.
If the ICC drops the charges against Ruto and Sang, the Hague-based court will have failed to secure a conviction in the Kenyan case. The case initially had 6 suspects, whom the then ICC prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo sought to have held responsible for the 2007-2008 post-election violence. Judges on the 23rd of January 2012 declined to confirm charges against former Cabinet Minister Henry Koskei and former Police Commissioner Mohammed Hussein Ali. Former Head of Civil Service Francis Mudhaura was off the ICC list on the 18th of March 2013 when the court withdrew the charges against him.
Reasonable doubt at trial.
For President Uhuru Kenyatta, his victory came on the 13th of March last year when the ICC terminated the case against him. The Hague-based court has handled 9 cases in, among other countries, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, Sudan, and Libya. It has indicted 39 people and issued warrants of arrest against 31. 9 of them, including Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir, are at large as fugitives. If Ruto and Sang are let off the hook, it will mean that the ICC, in its 13-year history, will only have handed down 2 convictions. One against Thomas Lubanga, who is serving a 14-year sentence in the DRC, and Jermaine Katanga, who is serving 12 years in the DRC. Rita Tinina, KTN News.